Hey fellow gamers, Chatty Sisa here. We've got an update on the Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered version, which will be released on the 31st of October this year. It does clash a little bit with some other games that will be released at the same time, but nevertheless I'm pretty sure that the fanbase will be enjoying this update. There are some differences between the original version and the remastered version, of course, and some people pointed out what they like and what they don't like. I did review the same as well on my live stream last Friday, but I haven't had at that time another vid, which I found a little bit later, where someone made a nice direct comparison side by side on the screen, and I think it's easier to spot the differences this way. So I'm going to show you in this vid the portion from my live stream where I was discussing a little bit this remaster, but also the entire franchise and maybe my, let's say, wish for this franchise for the future. And then after that, I have this side-by-side comparison, and I will talk a little bit more in detail about the differences that we can see on the screen. So I hope you are going to enjoy this vid. Let me probably start with that Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster. So I'm not sure if you have seen the posts which were there now currently when the vids have dropped with the remastered trailer. And people have noticed some differences, me as well. So let me just, I have something prepared, so let me just switch the screen and we can review the trailer, the new trailer for the remaster game, and then also some of the differences, compare some of the differences between that vid and that trailer and the old ones, which are for the original game. Okay, I hope you can see my desktop. I will also play it with sound. I just have to put on my headset, so apologies. And let me make this full screen.
You hunt these wild.
Peggy 16.
And this is for the remaster. And I hope it's not too loud, actually.
Let me tell you what's out there. Vast reaches of wilderness, untamed, majestic, but lethal.
Ah, the memories.
It belongs to them, the machines. When they told me to raise you, I didn't ask questions. Always you pushed for answers. Push yourself to the edge. If you hunt these wilds,
I like
no matter how
this
skilled
additional
you are,
content.
no matter how clever, you will become the hunted.
There's a threat to us all. Men in masks, raising up ancient machines.
Yeah, let me decrease the sound.
Their leader.
Kill her!
Aloy, what brings you to Meridian?
We need answers. For enduring.
You can use explosions.
He always does.
Ah, you are a wonder!
Yeah, that was a good quest.
What is it?
The end. Or how it begins, anyway.
I have to say I like the trailer.
There's so much more to discover before the world ends.
And it's nice that we can see like the not just the original trailer but some additional also some additional scenes, let me put it that way. The differences mainly, which I have noticed, are like in the, I don't know if I can put it this way, like greenery. Let me just move it. If I remember correctly, then, for example, this statue wasn't like so overgrown, and in general, some of the portions of the area are like more overgrown than in the original game. So I like that they added this. What I have noticed as well on the trailer, if you look at the faces, so it's not just that Aloy is a little bit changed, but if you look at Rost as well, his beard is like more, I think it's more dark, and I am not sure if I am fond of the texture, because I think in the original or the older trailers, or in the original game that wasn't so remastered, the textures, I think they were a little bit better. I'm not sure, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think, but I believe that the details and the textures were like better in the original games. Let me quickly switch.
Life you've been searching.
Yeah, this one is with
And
the
the elders,
original
they've been
textures.
holding you back.
The girl is a curse. She came from nowhere. She is no one.
When they told me to raise you, I didn't
And
ask
here you can
questions.
see Rost. I think, and also Aloy. I think in game they are slightly different, but very close to how they've been depicted in game, in the final game then. And it is a difference when you compare it now to the remaster. So I think the colors are like more dark,
Here in the valley,
more
we may
intense.
be outcasts.
Yeah, see, his beard is like more gray, and I think when you look at the textures on the face, they're like more detailed. But that's just like my perception. I'm not sure if I see it right. But also on the clothing, like if you look at at his clothing here, the details on what he's wearing, I think it's more detailed than in the remastered version. So yeah, let me maybe switch back to the other screen. Good. So I think he's having more textures, and the same goes also for Aloy. The colors are like more saturated, as I said, and they changed a little bit the face of Aloy. If you look at the new trailer, the face as a child is a little bit changed, and I think they wanted to be like more consistent with the second game, because people were complaining that going from the first to the second game, the look of Aloy has changed. I think it's mostly because of the changes in textures as well, and some little details and tweaks that they did. I am wondering about one thing though. One thing is that when you have just textures changed, and when you have like more greenery in the background, it doesn't really affect how you perceive the game. It's still the same game. It has the same quests. It has the same characters, etc. I am not sure if they have changed or added something in the content. I would be interested in knowing that. I don't think that they did, because it's just still called a remaster, so I don't think that they have like made too many changes. But yeah, let me know if you have some more info. I didn't really dig that much into the details yet, because I want to wait until there are like more details known about the remaster version. I'm not sure if I'm going to download it. For now, I am really happy with the original game as it is, and I'm not sure if it's really making that much sense if you are remastering a game that's not that old. I mean, this game is like, what, 10 years, less than 10 years, I think, old. And I'm not sure if it really makes sense. I would rather prefer, to be honest, if they would like focus on the next game in the trilogy. So We have now the remaster of Horizon Zero Dawn. We do have Horizon Forbidden West, which I'm really looking forward to, and I want to play it, and I'm actually looking forward to playing it since March, but I want to finish my Mass Effect Andromeda playthrough first. So the next game I'm going to play will definitely be Horizon Forbidden West. And then we are waiting for the third one. And we know that an important part of the Horizon series was played by Lance Reddick, who unfortunately passed away. And I think he was supposed to play a big role in the third game, or at least a bigger one, as he did in the first and probably the second game. I am wondering how they are going to resolve this. There was a discussion about AI and usage of AI not so long ago, and I think this one was the... Normally I'm not so fond of it, but I think this one was a good example of how you would or could use AI in a good sense. I do believe they have a lot of motion capture for Lance. I do believe that they have a lot of dialogues recorded, so they have a vast database, audio database that they could use. I think they could technically still incorporate him in the third game, and it would be, I think, also a nice way maybe how to say goodbye to him or to Silence as his character in the Horizon series. So I think the worst probably for me would be if we would not see anything at all in the third game of Silence, and there would be no node, or maybe just a small node. It would be a shame. So it would be nice if they would maybe do at least one small little scene where his character would appear and they would just maybe assemble some dialogue. Who knows? But this is something that I would have preferred if they would be focusing on, instead of a remaster of a game that really, in my opinion, didn't really need a remaster. They are currently doing also a lot of promo for the Horizon Lego game, and I have seen some footage from that one. I mean, it's fun. It's definitely for younger generations. But like I said, there was a note that they are probably working also on some live service game, and I really would rather prefer if they would stick to the trilogy and finalize the trilogy. They have established a good universe, this Horizon universe. They have a lot of fans, people who are really looking forward to the third game, and even if they would finish this, let's say, trilogy and Aloy's story, because of how vast the universe is and how many options they have, it's not like a predefined universe where you have, let's say, where it's not based on a book and you have to have certain characters or something. It's open. So they could create just simply another trilogy, for example, with a completely different main character, and continue the franchise if they want to, right? So I think it would be nice if they would just, focus on this third game and let us know some news and updates about it, instead of, doing all sorts of things always with Aloy. I understand why. It's the main character for now, and quite popular. I also do playing as Aloy, but again, please rather finish the trilogy. We have so much more options when you try to create a new game. So that much for Horizon. On this spot, I just wanted to highlight, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to check it out. I have a couple of other topics as well, different games, playthroughs, some gaming reviews and game news and updates. So there's various topics here on this channel. Please feel free to check it out. And in case you like this vid, please don't forget to hit that like button below. It's really very helpful for the YouTube algorithm. Just like any of your comments, I really would appreciate to hear your thoughts on the remaster. Thanks a lot already in advance. Before we watch the comparison side by side, I just wanted to show you a discussion that I had with someone already on my channel regarding the remaster, and I would like to summarize a little bit what my observations were at that point. And the person who was writing the comment was talking about Aloy's face and the changes on Aloy's face. And as you can see, I highlighted here that I think that they wanted to ensure that there is more consistency between Horizon Forbidden West and Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't played yet Forbidden West, as I mentioned before, but I did hear, let's say that there was a lot of talk about the change in the, let's say, facial structure of Aloy, and I believe this is what happened now as well in the remaster. So they changed the face a little bit to make it look more like in the Forbidden West games. And I have to say that there are things which I like in the remaster and which I don't like. I think the environments and the lighting are much better. I can spot there's more greenery and some little details here and there, which we will see in a moment. Then there are also just a few details which I'm not really so fond of. And that is the textures and character models in the remaster. In general, I think the original ones are more detailed. I'm not sure if I'm putting it in the correct way. I will show you when we are having this side-by-side comparison what exactly I mean with these textures. I think they were better in the original game, and some of these details seem to be lost, as I mentioned here. The colors are definitely better in the remaster. From what I have seen, it's in some places good with the right lighting. In some spots, it's a little bit too much, too much light. I don't know how to put it. So some spots in the original game look a bit darker, but again, they also show you in that case a little more detail. So I think some spots are looking better in the original, some spots are looking much better in the remastered version. And then the changes on Rost, what we can see, the darker beard, I really do think that probably what they were showing in the trailer is the start of the game where Aloy is still a small child. So I think they tried to show Rost as a younger version, probably. That's why they made his beard a little bit more darker and with less gray hair. It's a question how he will be looking later on in the game. Probably it would make sense if he would have a little bit more gray hair, as Aloy will be already an adult during the game. So yeah, that's something that I have observed. And in general, like I said already before, I'm not saying the remaster is bad, not at all. I really do like some of the features a lot, but I would just have really preferred that if they would focus a little bit more on the third game in the series. I think there's a lot of people already waiting for it, and I can say from my side I'm also already very impatient. So yeah, that much for the summary, and let's go now for reviewing the vid. So before I start the vid, I just wanted to mention one little detail as well. I will, of course, link the vid with the respective YouTube channel as well in the description below, and you can go and check out the whole trailer again for yourself and without me talking. So you will see all the details in the description. So in the remastered version, what's clearly visible, it's something that I spotted already before and I mentioned in my live stream. I did remember that the statue here was not so overgrown with the greenery, and it is much more now in the remastered version. And for me, it also makes a lot of sense because a lot of years have passed between these happenings in the game, so it would make more sense to see it more overgrown. And here I also like the changes in the environment and in the lighting. Meridian, also here there are a few changes which I can see, mainly again some greenery added. It looks more, I don't know, lived in the city. The changes here on this spot are definitely better in the remastered version, because you have a feeling that it's the colors are more crisp and better in the remastered version. And in general, this confirms what I've said before, that I think the environments look a lot better in the remastered version. That's the same as well here on this next scene, where you can see that a lot of the greenery has been added. In these scenes, you can also see that the level of detail still remains quite a good one. So you still see a lot of the details, but due to the changes in the lighting, and I will stop it here, for example, in the original version, I think this part was a little bit better because it gave you like this more texture. And this is what I mentioned as well in my previous note, that I think the texture overall was a little bit better in the original. You can see it here a little bit better, and in the remaster it's all kind of like in a shade, so I think because the lighting is changed, so of course you don't see all the details here in these buildings. And I'm not sure if it wouldn't be a nice thing if it would be like easy to combine. So I would love to keep the details of the textures here and have this added greenery. But in general, yeah, I do like the changes in the remaster in terms of the environments. Yeah, here we could see Rost with the original version, and now we have the remastered version. And as you can see, his beard is darker. That's what I mentioned before. Let me just stop it. And there is also one little detail which is kind of curious for me. So if you look at Aloy when she's already an adult, and the comparison between the original and the remastered version. So in the original version, she has like the eyebrows which she has are not so full, and they are a little bit lighter. And in the remastered version, when she's an adult, her eyebrows are a little bit darker and more full. And funnily enough, if you compare her as a very small child, the original version would be actually showing something that would be like fitting to her look from the remastered version as an adult. And as a child in the remastered version, she actually has the eyebrows now as the adult version in the original. So it's kind of a mismatch here. I know it's a little detail, so as you can hear, I'm laughing, but it's just a little detail that I've noticed, that probably they didn't have to change the eyebrows. It would probably make more sense and would be a little bit more consistent, but yeah, it's just a little detail. But the changes on Rostella are more visible here. So as you can see, his beard, I think, is quite a lot darker, and I think it's, like I said, because they wanted to make him look a little bit younger. Also, if you look at the wrinkles, he has some, of course, but not so prominent like in the original version. So I think what they tried to do here was to make him look younger in these years when Aloy is a small child, and they will probably make him look a little bit older than in the later stages of the game. Yeah, he definitely has less wrinkles. That's what I've noticed. Here, as you approach Meridian as well, the environments, at least in my opinion, look better in the remastered version. It is because of the added greenery mostly. What I have noticed, and let me just show you this on this comparison. So for example, here on the top, you know, there are now some small flags. So there's little details that have been added, which looks cool. So it's really something that normally you wouldn't notice that much. But again, something that I think is a little bit lost with the remastered version and with this new way of how they were lighting the scene is the texture or the details that we can see. So if you look at the ground here, at least that, like I said, that's my perception. I'm not sure if you see it the same way, but here also as well, like all these little details, it's here very bright, and I think some of it is a little bit lost, which it's not really anything bad or anything problematic, but it's just something that I've noticed also here on the bottom of the screen, so you can see more details than here. At least that's my opinion. Yeah, let me know what you think of it, by the way. This one looks cool actually with the added greenery. Like I said, it looks like more lively. I don't know how to put it. Yeah, here as well, that's the same. So you can see, I think, a little more texture in the original regarding the, for example, the ground and the details in the background. And if you, on the other hand, if you look on the right side of the screen and you look at these rocks, I think these are better here in the remastered version. So they did play around with some of the settings here, and that they definitely did play around also with the details, which you can see up close and which are further on in the back. Yeah, we have a fight here, and I think in the fighting scenes, if you look at the machines, you can see that they have like more bright colors. At least that was my impression. And for this scene, what I have noticed, and I think it's a nice cool little detail actually in the remastered version, is that because this is like a snowy area and you are going on top of the mountain while it's actually snowing, you can see that. It's also here, the snow is now added here as well, and on some other spots. So it's nice that they have played around with these little details. I actually like the change. It's just that now it looks, for example, more, I don't know, more bluish in this spot in this scene compared to the original one. Yeah, aside from the, let's say, flowers maybe, and the change that they are now showing, like this spraying of the mud, there's not really that much difference. Here in this scene, I like in the remaster version, you see more details. And that was the, let me go a little bit back. So that was the other way around, the other change in compared to the previous scenes, where you had like a better texture and better details in the original. Here in this scene, I think it's much better in the remastered version, so you can see that there is more details visible on this side of the tree. I do like it. I do like all the details that they were adding here. The lightning of the sky, I'm not so sure. I mean, I like the original, but again, it's really nice to see now all the details in this scene. So here the remastered version is definitely, I think, the better one. And that's Aloy's face, and as I said, yeah, the original had, I think, probably the eyebrows more fitting to her new face, new adult face, than the eyebrows that she had as a kid here. So yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's still the same Aloy in that sense. It's still the same child. They didn't really change anything on the structure here on the face. The colors are more like crisp in the remastered version, I think. And here it will be visible more like the changes in her face when she's at this age. So as you can see, again, this is the original, this is the new game, or the remastered game, and I do have to say that actually I did prefer this original face compared to the new remastered one. I think it like makes more sense with actually the adult Aloy's new face. I don't know. I mean, it's not bad. They played around with the hair, so you can see that the hair is a little bit changed. She has more hair on the sides here. And in general, again, the colors are more crisp. And in this scene, I think it's also visible like how much the colors are changing and how much the details are changing and the textures. I look at the bottom side here and I see a little change, and I think the remastered version in this case has a better detail than the original one. Funnily enough, in some other scenes, it looks like the original has a better texture and better detail. But again, it's just a question, I guess, from the lighting, how the lighting has changed. Yeah, the environments, I think, are better. I do like them better in the remastered version. Yeah, that's the comparison now that will come with the face, with the original face and with the new face. Notice the eyebrows, which I've mentioned already a couple of times. Like I said, it's a little detail, but yeah. What I have to say from my side, I do think that I like the original face better, but I do have to agree with one thing, that in the remastered version, Aloy actually looks like a bit younger, in the sense that in the game I think she's 18 or 19, and in that case I would say the new remastered face is probably looking a little more young. I'm not sure, but in my opinion, and why I like the original face and the original character in the original version, is because I can see more details here. Like she has more freckles here, I think, or at least they are different than in the remastered version. The textures here, that's what I meant. I think the textures here are better in this case, on this spot. So if you compare the clothing that she has, I think the detail, the level of detail is a little bit lost in some of the spots here. Aside from that, I think the overall, her hair is a little bit darker. So it's again, the colors are more crisp, and the lighting is definitely different than in the original. And there are changes as well here on this one. And again, I like it that there are some little details and features added if you look at the comparison. Here, I have to say, I actually like the original a little bit better than the remaster, because the lighting here is corresponding to all of these fires that were put in place and that were lighting the entire room or area. I'm not sure, it's a little detail, yeah, but I think I like the original scene here a little bit better. And I think also the colors are a little bit better in this case in the original. Yeah, mind you, this is just really the graphics comparison, right? So it's not about something else, it's just really about the graphics. There are a few scenes here now where I have to say again, I did like the original characters. I don't know, I just think I like the texture better. And on the original rather than the remaster. It's kind of like some of the details I think are lost in the textures, yeah, and also on the face. I don't know, too many shades. Not sure how to put it. Yeah, I do like here the original better. Yeah, if you look at the comparison here as well, the colors here are more intense. Here they are more like washed out, which is a surprise because in the other scenes the remastered version was the other way around. So the remastered version was the better one in terms of colors. And also here the original, I think, was a little bit better. You can see the how the hoops are moving, like all the mud and sand and everything that's like flying away. I think that's more realistic in the remastered version. And also here the hair moves a little bit differently on Aloy, which would be consistent with the moving that she's currently doing. So that's a nice, cool change in the remastered version. Yeah, the changes here are, again, more, here the colors are more crisp. It's like more light is on Aloy's face, and there's like more detail compared to the original actually here, to be honest, in the remastered version. And I do like, again, this little detail that they added the like red color in her face. It's a cold environment. It would make sense that her face is getting a little bit reddish in that case. So I do like the remaster here. Yeah, it's definitely brighter. The remaster is definitely brighter. And the explosion here is, there's a lot of difference here. So if you look at the explosion, I think as well it's more realistic now in the remaster compared to the original. But if you look at the faces here, again, I have to go back to what I said previously. I do like the original face for Aloy a little bit better, because I think there's like more details, more structure, more texture. I'm not sure how to put it well, but yeah, I do like the original face. And I think she has a little bit like more freckles, yeah. Here in this case, because they've changed a little bit the lighting, actually in the remaster you can see more details in the background. The moment the gate is opening, you can see that there is a lot of detail added behind the gate. Here it looks kind of like vast and empty. This makes it look a little bit more realistic again. So yeah, I do think the remastered version is better in this case. And also if you look at this portion, and this portion, you can see there is a lot more detail added in this scene. So that is it for this vid. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of this comparison side by side and of this new remastered version. What did you like, or maybe what did you not like so much on the new version? I would love to hear your thoughts as well. Don't hesitate to let me know what you would like to see further on in the franchise, in the entire franchise. Please try to avoid spoilers if you can. I haven't played yet Horizon Forbidden West, which is, by the way, the next game on this channel channel, which I will be playing, so you can see then the playthrough here as well. Thanks a lot for watching, stay tuned and game on!